Hello everybody, it's Rebecca, aka Crazy Rebecca, or as if you please, Dances with Pitbulls. I'm trying something different today. I want to try to do a process video, and we're going to make these little book ornaments from, maybe you can tell here, toilet paper rolls. And they have blank pages or whatever kind of pages you want in it. It's held with a hair tie. Have a little button. That just fell off there. Now I'm at a loss. That was poor workmanship. Shoddy workmanship. Well, anyway, you get the point, I hope. We will do it much better when we do this one. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cut this down. I have a ruler. So this is approximately 3 1/8 inches by 2 inches. It doesn't have to be exact. Absolutely does not have to be exact. And there you go. So this is what we're going to be working as our substrate. You will need Modpodge, old brush. This is an old book paper I sprayed with dilutions and let dry. So the trick to this, you need a lot of glue. A lot. I learned to make these from Shannon Green. I learned to make the little faux-midoris, and then I modified it to make the books. I took them to a craft show. I did fairly well with them, I thought. And I recently abandoned one through the Art Abandonment Facebook group. I abandoned one at the doctor's office. So I hope whoever got it liked it. Okay, so you got a lot of glue on there. Now you just push it down. Now you can line up your pages or whatever, but I like to have scraps of my colored paper, so I usually put it in the middle like that. You turn it over, and you put it off to dry. When it's dry, you will do the same thing to this side. So you'll have two-sided, and I have one done here just to show you. So at this point, this one is measuring 4 1/2 by 3. Okay, you're going to fold it. Fold it in half. And this may happen, but that doesn't matter. This is not going in the Museum of Modern Art or anything. So that's where you're at right now. Then I will cut some papers, show you how to cut the papers, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now we're ready to cut our paper. I like to use a rotary cutter. I have one just for paper. And my ruler. You put your edge of the paper here. This is going to be cut at 2 1/2 inches. See, it fits. It'll fit good in between there like that. So now our next cut will be 3 3/4 inches. If you don't know how to do this, watch a YouTube. It's very handy. I used to measure by these squares on this mat, but if you measure here, you have a much better chance of getting things straight. Okay. Fold these in half. I usually use 10 pieces. This is a little bit thicker paper, and for time's sake, I just used a few less than that. Put it in there like that. And you have your little book. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put a button right there. Now we have a 1/2-inch button. Just kind of eyeball it where it's going to be. Poke your needle through. Then come around the back. And hold the thread. You want to take a couple of stitches and go through it on the back. I'm using beading thread. You can use waxed linen. I think maybe even sewing thread would be fine, because these aren't going to really be used as much except for show. But I just happen to have beading thread, so that's what I've been using. Now what I like to do is take a little tacky glue, just put a little dot there, little dot here, set it up like this to dry, and we'll be ready for the next part. The next thing we're going to do is add this thread part, and it comes from the back page here. I'm using black embroidery floss. You can use any color you want. Figure out where your button is there and find your needle again. Go right behind it and poke. And kind of wiggle it around. And I'm using a steel crochet hook. And I'm going to poke it through that hole. Good. And you get your thread and pull it through. Bring this through so that it's like that. I like to wrap it around, okay, like once and then down. And I'm going to embellish with some jingle bells. You can use beads. Obviously I didn't tie those other ones good enough, so make sure you tie them good. You want them to just hang down a little bit. Like I said, these are for decoration, not for use, but I know some people will probably try to use them, but if you give them as a gift, you know, and they're not for children, obviously, maybe an older child. See what my mistake was on them other ones. I think I should have put a little thing of glue. Put it down to dry, and we'll be back for the final step. Okay, the last part in our adventure is adding the string to hang it. I got stretchy string, it doesn't matter. And silver just seemed right to me, so that's what I used. Thread it through the rubber band, the hair tie. Once again, you may want to put a drop of glue on that, because I am learning by example that sometimes things come loose. There you have it, your little book ornament. They look great on gifts. Maybe hanging from your windshield, your, what do you call it, the rear view mirror. I don't know if that's legal. It's not legal in some states. But I'll put some more pictures at the end, and I'll put a link to Shannon's faux toilet paper roll Midori's, and also a list of the things you're going to need. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and like I say, this is my tagline when I leave. Please subscribe. I need friends. See you next time.